Hey everybody, it's the Telsonator here, doing another video request. Someone asked for the advanced soloing. Now, I am not an advanced soloist, so I'm going to just have to do my best here. I'm going to show you what I can without giving away all the tips of the trade. So, to start, what I'm going to do is just going to do a little bit of stuff in C major again, because that's what we've been working with. So remember, we've got our position starting on C. We've got the C up here. We've got it up here, and other various places too that we can play in this scale. Basically, all of the natural notes, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, are all fair game. They're all great in this. Some of them are not going to be as good as others, of course, right? But most of them are going to be working in their own little place. So I'm also going to go through another thing aside from note selection, just a little bit of rhythmic variation, articulation, dynamics, space. Space is a huge part I'll talk about in a few minutes. So my progression here is a simple progression from D minor 7. So we're starting on the 2 minor, then we're going to the 5, which will be a 7 chord, a G7 chord. Then we'll go to the 1, the C major 7. And then we're going to go to the 6, but it'll be major, the A7. Now, even though we're in C major, the very first chord is going to be D minor 7. So a C is not going to be very, very friendly over top of that. So we're going to be playing this kind of like, we're going to be treating this like a C major scale, but we're going to be playing from D to D instead of C to C. So we'll go D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. That is your second mode. That is the Dorian mode of the scale. Each time you move up and start from one note on a scale to another note, so the Ionian, the regular mode, is C major, C to C. Your Dorian mode is D to D, but following the notes in the C major scale. So there I passed the C, right there. Your Phrygian mode, the third mode, is the same thing. You're going from E to E. All of these modes will work over top of stuff in C major. Some, of course, better than others. Just like always, you've got to use your best judgment. So we're going to be focusing more so on the Dorian mode in this one. So I'll get the progression going here. It's just a simple 4-bar thing, just loop like that. So to start, you can just walk through the scale. The scale notes are the right notes. They're always going to work. Some, of course, better than others. So trying them in different orders. See, I use the C there to lead myself into the D. Just because I'm saying go from D to D doesn't mean you're stuck playing from D to D. All these other notes are in there as well. So there I put in a little minor 6 by accident there, pinning a couple mistakes, but kind of made it look like I knew what I was doing there. So that's one of the most simple things we can do. We can also take the chordal approach, right? We can play the notes in the D minor 7 chord. Kind of lets us go across the scale a little bit quicker. So it doesn't matter which one you start on either. You don't always have to start on D. So there's kind of like an F major arpeggio there, locked with inside the D. And of course exploring the octaves too. Sometimes I'm using the D up here, and the E and the F up here. Sometimes I use them up here. So you kind of change frequencies there. I'm doing the exact same thing there, but it sounded a little bit different because I went up higher. So a few other things we can do is add notes together from the scale and from the chords. We can make like major thirds happen here. So for example, like I like to start on the F right at the beginning with the D. I could do a little D with an F here to start, do harmony. and playing those separately as well. Oh. There's a little chromatic passage. So, there's a couple little secrets we can do there as far as note selection goes. Next you'll notice is the rhythmic differences there. So you could play the exact same thing with a little bit of a different rhythm, and you'll get a really nice sound out of it. So you can hear those are all long ringing notes. I could shorten. And always, bounce back and forth between the ideas there. Go back into some single note soloing. Play around with the rhythms like that. Leave them hanging. You always want to leave them gasping, going, not knowing what's coming up next. And that's where it comes down to space. Space is one of those big things that's always overlooked. We feel like we're soloing and we have to fill in all of that space, but we don't. The music is there. It's always there. So you've got to give yourself some time to breathe, just like you're forming a sentence. You want to think about this as a language. When you're telling a story, if you just ramble on without taking a breath, no one's going to listen to what you're going to say. That's Victor Wooten, by the way. I'm kind of paraphrasing him. He's my hero. So, leaving some space, and you can see that that's kind of part of the rhythmic variation. So you don't know what I'm going to do in that little space. There you can see I waited a little bit. Instead of going right on beat 1, I'll wait and go. So I waited for some of the beats to go there. I'm teetering on and off the time. And that's another good thing where space is great, because you just want to sit and listen sometimes and let the band fill in a little bit. Because you might even go off time a little bit, but the band is supposed to be staying in time for you. Usually that's the bass player's job, but if you got someone playing behind you, hopefully they're playing in time. So sometimes it's the notes you don't play, right? I can get a really nice run going here. Okay, let's see. So you can see I was going there. I had some really nice note selection, but it started just kind of drone, just going on and on. So sometimes just playing half those notes, leaving some of them out, waiting a little second just before you play them, will make it sound a little bit more complex. Just like when you're speaking, you want to take little breaks. So if you hear a bunch of noise, my neighbor's upstairs. So there you go. Leaving a little bit of space just leaves you hanging. You're wondering what's going to happen next. Is he done? Is he trying to finish? Does he not know what he's doing? Oh! And then you bust into something different like that. So, those are a few of the tricks there. Another few little things, and especially if you watch Victor Wooten again, he's the man. The way you're hitting the notes, the way you're playing them, the techniques you're doing. Slides. They can have a nice effect. Hammer-ons, pull-offs, or slurs. But again, you can use sparingly with the other things. You want to use the technique and the various note choices. The dynamics in which you use can also help you make your soloing a bit more interesting too. How hard or how soft you're going to play the note. Victor Wooten likes to get that kind of, where you can hear the buzz, the fret buzz. But it gives you so much variation when you do a little run up that's kind of quiet. You can hear it build up there, right? Yeah, I made a few mistakes there, but you can see what I'm going for there. That was a big build up to those climax there. So, there you go. There's just a few of those secrets. That's as far as I'm going to go for now. So, I hope this helps you.